Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Saturday, which means it is time for another Nozz watches Black Lagoon. Oh boy. I will get consistent with this series, I swear to God. That will happen eventually. But on the last episode of Black Lagoon, we saw the end of the Roberta arc. Revy made a friend, and I guess everything goes back to normal. So hey, and and also the Russians. We got some backstory on the Russians. Didn't ask for that, but thank you, I guess. But I have no idea what they're gonna get into this time. So I guess let's see. We've had Nazis. We've had the fucking mafia. We've had the cartels. What's next? Can't be an overarching story, and that's for sure. Well, let's see, shall we? In three, two, one, and go. Okay, we're just going right back in. Like, I feel like the lack of an overarching story really is like the thing that does kill this show for me just a teeny tiny bit. Like, I feel like, goddamn. Like I get like the idea is that Rock slowly becomes just as bad as the rest of the Lagoon team, but it's so slow and so paced out that it might as well not be happening. It's the Carlton effect. Like, it's like slice it's a slice of crime anime that seems to be like, oh god. Like it seems like it aspires to be like this, like a much bigger show than it is, while at the same time being too cowardly to like stop being anything more than a slice of crime show, you know? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Like I want to see them have like a big cool overarching adventure with an antagonist and everything. That just sounds like they're just like trading antagonists out every week, and that can work, yes, but you need to commit to that. And not like set yourself up like there's some big overarching thing. I don't know. Like you got all this shit going on in the background that like our main characters like pop their heads and be like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And then they'll pop out and be like, "All right, cool. That's going to go on and be a thing. Not my problem though." You know what I mean? Nice to see that Revi sleeps the same way she lives. Like this is the exact shit I'm talking about. Like fucking another 9/11 just happens, and it's like, oh, cool, neat. Then moving on. I don't know. It's like the fucking Backyardigans having a 9/11 episode, you know what I mean? Like, fuck. Uh, God, where did that come from in my head? Jesus. Is it for quick delivery of coffee? God, I like how she sounds like barely awake. Jesus. Ah, specifically a stupid Bulgarian. Rebel church. Hey, man. What? What? Oh, Jesus. Ah, I see the Bulgarians are trying to move in on the CIA's turf. Okay, then. It's the Bulgarian CIA. How useful can they be? The Soviet Union still exists. Oh, it is just the CIA. Damn. Can't believe the CIA is outsourcing now. Jeez. I would have thought they would have been, more in there to be for a good old fashioned internal family business. Okay, question. Why the fuck is the Americans using AKs? And the fucking gangbanger using FNFALs? Or maybe some variant of them. I have trouble telling the FAL variants apart. So if I say an FAL, I'm basically just generalizing the generalized, you know what I mean. Because you got the original one that's chambered in 308 because the Americans are assholes about it, and you got one that's chambered in 762, and then one that's chambered in 556. Well, from the sounds of that taxi, it seems like things are going a little faster there, Mr. Chang. Yep, Revy hears it. Now that's just poor sport right there. It's your fucking fault the place got bombed. Jeez, Mr. Chang, you could at least like give him like half for repaying the fucking hole in their building. Damn, I can't believe Revy found herself a boyfriend. They're made for each other. He's overdressed and she's underdressed. Why did it play a cocking sound when he ejected the magazine? God, the Japanese, for all the extremely well modeled guns in this show, the Japanese have no fucking clue how guns work, do they? Holy shit. It's like the art department is like, oh yeah, no, I know how guns work. And so you got like a bunch of mechanical shit that works really well, and then the sound department's like, I don't know, fucking gun sound.mp3. I don't fucking know what shit is. God, just fuck already. Like a flower delivery. Well, I guess they're having to shoot their way in. Fucking, God, it's like they don't pay attention. CG fan, okay. So who are these assholes? They're not Americans. Are these Cubans? I mean, they're using AKs, so... Well, they're communists at the very least if they're quoting Mao. Okay, Takanaka, alright, that doesn't exactly sound like a name that fits. Okay, then. The FBI doesn't actually operate outside of America. That's the CIA they'd be talking about. The FBI is internal, the CIA is external. Of course, they're supposed to be external. Technically, it's illegal for the CIA to operate on the American soil. Not like that would stop them, though. They just gotta not get caught. But his choice in fucking passwords, Jesus. Have they specified who these assholes were, or did I miss it? Because your English sucks ass. Oh, this man's dead. This man's fucking dead. There's a gun in this man's mouth right now. Hey, alright. I was fully expecting that man to just fucking, like, shove a knife in that guy. Just hear the Japanese kid code, Daddy? Oh, God, help! I mean, this is pre 9/11, right? So it's not like airports are that. You know what I mean? Or that bad yet. God, I hate airports. You missed. Missed again. Oh boy. Separate them from backup. Yeah, no, okay, fair enough. I don't know enough about this part of the world in this time frame. But I'm assuming that this is some sort of these are some sort of communist militants, maybe Cubans, I don't know. I mean, that dude looks like a fucking, like, discount Che Guevara, so, I mean... Oh, boy, this guy's either gonna be, like, instantly killed, or he's gonna be a final boss. Can't wait. God, imagine having a cause, am I right, gamer? Get the feeling she ain't gonna tell him shit. How did they not notice the fucking small boat coming, like, splitting off from it? What the hell? Not like it's a fucking submarine. Like, holy shit, my dude. It's more like a shanty town more than anything, but okay, fair enough. Except for that guy. That guy stuck around. This seems like a bamboozle right here. I'm be honest, I'm just a teeny tiny bit lost. Like, you know, like I think it's just because like this thing, I think it's because my brain is like looking at all of these like big events happening in the background, expecting them to be like the main thing. And then it turns out to be fucking nothing. So where did he get the password? You know he's evil because he's being vaguely misogynistic. There you go. What the fuck? Rock, what the fuck? How'd you get bundled in so fast? It took like 2 frames. Jesus Christ. The gunfire start. Man, it's 2 o'clock already? Fuck. My man just had to hotbox the Humvee, didn't he? How does Revy not fucking trip? Like, straight up, Like, she just runs around just with her fucking shoes untied. How the fuck? Oh, cool. Now we got this ninja shit going on. Seems to be a lot of that going around, huh? Alright, time to abandon rock. Holy shit. I'll admit, this show's a little bit losing its charm on me just a little bit. Damn, I didn't know the Taiwanese came to play. Alright then, fair enough. God, just light him up, for fuck's sake. Just put a fucking stop to it. These assholes are just... Most of these assholes are like, if they open fire, they're gonna hit each other. Jesus Christ. Ah yes, the language of international politics, Nihonjin. Or Nihongo, fuck. Nihonjin is just Japanese people. Long enough. Okay, so he is Japanese. Fair enough. Yes, it is. Because honestly, this episode kind of boring. Oh boy. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna just make the review part quick because I. Okay, so starting with the stuff I do like. Not much, honestly. I mean, most of the stuff that I like is the stuff that's been done fairly well, like, the entire time. So, like, the gun modeling's really nice. I like a lot of the character designs. Like, that's about it. I honestly can't think of anything else. There's like a... I think I spilled something on my mouse mat. Oh boy. It's just water. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so, yeah, I really want to say, like, stuff I liked, but there really isn't all that much. It's mostly just the stuff that's been good the entire time. It's like, for the last few episodes, I've had issues. I think it's probably why I've been a little inconsistent with this, just because... Like... Oh boy, now the CIA showed up. So I think, like, the main reason I've stuck around so long is stuff like the Roberta thing, where, like, that felt like that was going to be an extended thing. And then it wasn't. It was, like, 2-3 episodes. God, You go, most of this is all subjective, right? So I'm just gonna say that right? So this episode specifically, um, it seems like, God, it breaks like one of the major rules of storytelling where like something happens and it's very clearly something that's very big and important, and it's just kind of in the background and it's not really important. Like, I get it, this is a slice of life show with a very big crime element, but you can't have the fucking political turmoil of the late 90s on full display and just have the protagonist go, okay, cool, yeah, I'll get involved in that for money, and then have them leave. Like, it makes things feel like they have no impact, but and also makes it feel like it's just coasting off of current events of the time. And it just and it just makes it feel like there's no real impact to anything, which is really weird because I mean this time period, like the reason we all live in a fucking horrible dystopic nightmare state, and I mean all of us live in this, even if you're not in the US, no matter where you are, you live in a horrific dystopic nightmare state. Um, is because of the shit that went down in the late 90s, early 2000s. And the fact, and maybe this is just like, like tainted by hindsight, but it really does feel like the show is just kind of like just using that as I don't know what it's using it as a springboard. I don't know, but it's not great, is what I'm getting at. Um, like the story in this episode specific, like it's something I'll go more into in a minute, but the story in this episode is like, oh yes, the CIA is fucking with shit in Southeast Asia, and now the communists are fucking back. And also the triads are involved, which means that Black Lagoon is involved because we got to have our main characters be tangentially related to this crisis. It doesn't really feel like there's any weight to anything because nobody gives a fuck. And if your protagonists don't give a fuck, it makes it hard for the audience to give a fuck. I don't like that very much. It feels very disconnected. Like, I don't know. And just in general, like, if everything feels very, very, like, paint by numbers at this point. Like, this is the exact same as the fucking neo-Nazis. Something is happening that's tangentially related to the geopolitics of the time. Black Lagoon is hired to do something that seems tangentially unrelated. Black Lagoon gets in trouble with the paramilitary group of the time. Black Lagoon shoots their way out. Black Lagoon gets paid. Black Lagoon never fucking thinks about it again. Like, it feels very, very paint by numbers, because they've done it like 4 fucking times now. And it gets old. It gets really fucking old. Like, would it kill them to give a shit? Like, Revy's an American. Rock is Japanese. Dutch is American, I assume. Fucking Benny is, I'm assuming, American, maybe European. Like, all of them are from a country that was very, very heavily impacted by this time period. Like, they don't live in it right now, they're all expats, but guess what? They're expats to a country that's very, very involved. By country, I mean, like, the area, Southeast Asia. Fuck. Like, oh, boy. Would it kill any of them to give a fuck? And I get it, that's not the point. But you've got, like, this very, very rich geopolitics of the time that you could use to bounce shit off of. Instead, they're using it as a world tour, like a fucking magic school bus. Like, Miss Frizzle comes in, is like, okay, kids, today we're gonna learn about Afghanistan. Come on in, take an AK on your way. If the Taliban shows up, you gotta aim to kill. Like, fucking Jesus, Miss Frizz. Christ. Like, it's geopolitical Magic School Bus. Like, fuck me, dude. And it gets very, very old. Just in general, this episode feels very, very lackluster because the sound design was kind of shit. The characters are kind of shit. Like the not the Black Lagoon folks, the new people they get the generic fucking vaguely communist multinational gorillas. Very generic. I don't give a shit. Like sound design is awful. Like choreography's not very great. Yeah, it's literally they're coasting. It's not great. And just this show in general, like I said, like geopolitical 90s Magic School Bus. It gets very, very old. Like, if you want to just have your slice of crime show, then why tie it to the geopolitics of the time? Because maybe at the time this came out, like, that was very good, but it's made it age very, very poorly, especially since it turns out that the fucking geopolitics of the 90s heavily negatively impacted the geopolitics of today. That'd be like if I made an anime that was based around the fucking turmoil, the turmoil of the political machines and the human rights violations done by communist countries. Like, yes, at the time people would be like, oh man, I remember, but like in fucking like 10, 20 years, like assuming the show gets any like cult classic status, people are like, oh, I remember. And no one wants that. No one wants that. No one wants to like look at a show and go, oh, right. Man, those are innocent times. No one wants that. I think I might be done with this show. Like, it was fun to start with, and I enjoy all the gun porn, but like, when the main characters don't give a fuck, it makes it really hard for me to give a fuck. The closest they've come to giving a fuck is like, in episode 1, and the previous episode where Revy got a massive fucking boner for fighting Roberta. That's it. Like, like, every one of the characters is so fucking jaded that it becomes very, very distracting. Because they're the same level of jaded as people would become 10 years after the fact. You know? Like, at the time, people are like, oh, fuck, everything's on fire. Oh, geez. Oh. Bear in mind, I was, like, fucking 5 at the time, so fair enough. But, like, I'm going by, like, what I remember, like, my parents talking about and what, like, I know from looking back at archived news footage of the time. Like, back then, like, the war on terror and fucking destabilization of Southeast Asian governments was, like, it seemed like a very big deal. Like, you know? And nowadays it's like, okay, and so Afghanistan fell to the Taliban, America is bailing out, China is murdering Uyghur Muslims, and all sorts of, okay, yeah, that's another Tuesday. It's another Tuesday. Human rights are being violated all over the world. Yeah, who cares? Like, it's such a blasé, jaded fucking approach to the fact that people are dying in the millions. And, like, maybe I get enough of that in real life. Maybe I don't need that from fucking characters in a show where they can actually probably do something about it. I don't know. I don't know. There's a place for jaded characters, but I feel like with real life geopolitics, you don't want that because it's going to make people I feel like maybe if this show like had the geopolitics shit going on in the background, but it didn't directly like impinge upon our protagonists, it would matter a bit more. Like maybe like the thing with Rock's fucking company. Yeah, what the fuck happened with that? Like maybe like in the background you have like Rock's company be like, oh yes, we're helping the CIA destabilize Afghanistan. Like, And Rock's like, guys, what the fuck? This guy, we gotta do something about this. And then they're like, oh no, Rock. I mean, we're not being paid for it. And then fucking Mr. Chang comes in and is like, hey, guess what I can pay you guys for? Or maybe Balalaika. I mean, she's Soviet, right? Fucking, like, Russians have had about as much interest in Afghanistan at the time. So it's like, you know, some emotional core, some narrative through line would be nice. But since that seems to not be a thing that this show is interested in giving, I'm not interested in continuing the show. Like, there is room for slice of life, but not when they're going to have this level of shit, you know? Like, if the show doesn't give a fuck, why should I? But that's I've repeated myself, so I'm going to leave this here. Don't know what's going to fill this spot. I'll check what's coming out, and I'll check the patron list. Something will be in the slot. But anyway, everybody, hope you guys enjoyed this video at the very least. Sorry I didn't like your cult classic very much by the end of it, but yes, let me know what you think of this down there in the comments, whether you like it, you disliked it, or you want to bring up something that I left out, because that's entirely possible. Oh boy. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share social media, tell your friends, hit the share button down below, and if you want, you can always support me on Patreon, which is linked down there in the description. If you want more content from me, then I do try and post anime every single day at around noon, and I do try and live stream every single day. I might be streaming the day this winds up going up. Keep an eye out. I don't know. But I will be streaming tomorrow. I'll be doing Final Fantasy VI again, because that game is really good, and I really like that game a lot. Yes, hopefully I will see you guys there. As always, I am Nozz, and I'll see you in the next video, but most importantly of all, become a trash mammal today, and I will see you a Ryu.